That's diarrhea, folks.
Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to talk about my experience with the carnivore diet. So first of all, what is the carnivore diet? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a diet where you eat meat. Just meat. It has been widely popularized from podcasters like Joe Rogan.
I do not trust my butthole at all.
Strength coaches like Mark Bell and other celebrity figures such as Jordan Peterson who
I've been on a pure carnivore diet for about 2 months.
Who talk highly of the diet itself. Unlike other high-protein, low-carb diets, the carnivore diet allows 0 carbs. It includes only foods that have either walked, flown, or swam. Carnivore diet is often a step people take after trying the paleo or ketogenic diet. Paleo, which is otherwise known as the caveman diet, focuses on fresh fruits, vegetables, grass-fed meats, seafood, while eliminating added sugars, grains, dairy, and legumes. Keto, on the other hand, is a very high-fat, moderate protein, and low-carbohydrate diet. There's different variations of the diet, but essentially you're allowed to eat organ meats, poultry, fish, eggs, lard, bone marrow, butter, salt and pepper, water, and bone broth. Depending on who you are asking, some will allow a few dairy products such as cheese, yogurt, and whole milk to be included in the diet as well. So why would people do the carnivore diet in the first place?
My God, what?
Fans of the carnivore diet, which for funsies' sake in this video we are going to call carnies, has a range of benefits from weight loss, which it does help with because, well, that's what a calorie deficit does, to raising testosterone levels, but there is no evidence to support this later claim. It is with claims such as this that the diet has gained a lot of interest and virality via the internet. The carnivore diet has also gained some attention for its potential benefits as an anti-inflammatory diet that may benefit people with autoimmune conditions. These claims were fueled by Jordan Peterson and his daughter Michaela Peterson, who have both publicly stated that a diet of beef, salt, and water relieved them of ailments including rheumatoid arthritis, depression, anxiety, gastric reflux, and psoriasis. Essentially, the carnivore diet is an elimination diet. Elimination diets have been around for hundreds of years. They are commonly used when testing for food sensitivities, allergies, and other reasons. So, this is exactly why I am going to do the carnivore diet experiment. I have lived with psoriasis for over 20 years. My first outbreak was when I was 11 years old. I recently moved across the country from Ontario to Alberta, which meant that I had to be the new kid all over again while entering junior high. I was already struggling with social anxiety and the grief of losing all of my close friendships from Ontario, that my nervous system was stuck in fight or flight, and my cortisol levels were quite high, which in turn essentially made me a prime candidate for someone to start developing psoriasis. Mix that in with external factors such as a very dry new climate, along with the skin irritation that my hockey equipment was causing, and my legs were completely covered in psoriasis. I would often wake up in the morning with blood in my fingernails and my sheets covered in blood. I got to the point where I was sleeping in pajama pants and I was actually taping my knee-high socks into the base of my pajama pants to hopefully prevent me from scratching myself to a bloody mess while I was sleeping. Later that year, my off-season for hockey, I was finally able to get in to see a dermatologist who confirmed that it was psoriasis. I was given a strong topical steroid cream which worked extremely well at the time. Within a few days, the scabs were falling off and I thought I was good to go. As soon as the next hockey season came around, it came back and has never left since. At this point, I've tried just about every topical ointment you can imagine. I've tried oatmeal baths, I've tried tanning beds, I've tried special detergents, soaps, shampoos.
Puts the lotion on its skin.
Just about anything that you can think of. The only route I've yet to try was an elimination diet to see if what I was consuming on a regular basis was adding fuel to the inflammation fire that was within my gut. A lot of experts agree that your skin health is representative of your gut health, and with this being the only option I have yet to exhaust, why not try it now?
This is day 1 of our carnivore meat-only challenge, so I am currently en route to the grocery store here. What are you gonna buy, Max? Meat. Nothing but meat for the next 2 weeks. It's gonna be pretty awful, if you ask me.
Okay, first meal of the carnivore diet about to go down. We're going with the classic steak and eggs. Let's make some magic. Already ran into my first logistical issue, and I guess I can't use vegetable oil because it's, predominantly soybean oil and citric acid, so I don't want to be cheating this carnivore diet already, so I guess I'm going to use just the allowed butter to fry up the steak here. So. Get that close up. What a monumental moment right now. First bite of the carnivore diet. Here we go. Not bad. I'm gonna walk you through what happened when I tried the carnivore challenge.
Meal 1 done and dusted. Overall, I mean, first meal, steak and eggs, can't go wrong with that. I mean, you can over the next 2 weeks, I'm sure I will go wrong with that. It just seems like you're missing something, which when you eat normally, it would make sense because there's no carbohydrates and no vegetables. So 1 steak, 2 eggs down the hatch. See you at the next steak. It's the first afternoon of the carnivore diet, and I can tell this is going to be very difficult. Going from the extreme of Christmas and the holidays and literally eating whatever I wanted, especially when it comes to lots of sweets and sugar and all that delicious stuff. Meal 2 is going down because I'm just bored. So we're going to do some bacon and eggs. Considering I rarely have bacon as much as I love bacon, cooking the eggs in the bacon grease is next level. It tastes so good. I know this is only meal 2, but it tastes pretty good. Doesn't that look appealing? Meal 3 of the day, but some steak and bacon. And I haven't pooped yet, so curious to see how that's gonna go. A little worried about that for tomorrow morning or tonight, whenever that decides to happen. But I mean, overall, I don't feel terrible. I kind of feel like I'm trying to join some cult right now. I'm gonna really do my best to come at this over the next 2 weeks in a very non-biased approach. But I feel a little bit dumber after watching some of the people talk about their carnivore experiences today. See you guys tomorrow at the gym. Chaotic start to the new year. And we started building that cable machine, which I am not Bob the Builder, so that is not my forte. A little frustrating, but we're making progress. Also helps when you actually have the right tools, which we do not have, so that should be fun. Took my first poop on the carnivore diet, and it was okay. It's happening. It was a little ugly, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't quite the dies just yet, but yeah, first poop out of the way. Energy-wise, feel fine. Don't feel any sort of mental clarity or anything like that. All right, quick little grocery haul. 2 dozen eggs, whoops. Got some shrimp, some more bacon, and then I'm gonna cook this up tomorrow because I'm not gonna have time for this today, but I'm pretty stoked for this. The cashier's sort of like, is there anything else you wanna get here? Here's some fruits, some vegetables. No, I'm carnivore. I am finding myself relatively irritable. I think it's partly I had to build that thing today, or started to build that thing today. Also, a bunch of people on Instagram feeling the need to give me their opinion on how stupid carnivore is. Trust me, I know. We are tight for time, so I'm gonna quickly fire up half a dozen eggs here. I got some leftover bacon from yesterday. Whip that up.
Look at your tongue.
I am overwhelmed, and I don't know if it's from lack of carbs or what, but people are annoying me. Drive back to the gym here because I actually have to bring back a socket set so we can hopefully finish putting together that cable system today. I'm hoping to get a workout in. I do want to build that cable system out though as well, so hopefully we can do it all. I think it was Gandhi that said, you can't have everything, but you can have anything. Or some shit like that. I don't know. It is 8 o'clock now. About to crush me some steak and eggs, like a real carnivore. Overall, I don't feel too bad. I mean, I feel irritable, but I mean, I haven't had carbohydrates for closing in on 48 hours now, so that's definitely got something to do with it. Haven't noticed any positives yet in terms of the skin. You can see a big patch there on my thumb. I did have my first diarrhea though, so the carnivores call that the keto flu. But anywho, that's day 2. Tis my day off today, so we're sitting down for carnivore day 3 breakfast. We've got 6 whole eggs and about 5 pieces of bacon. I don't feel great, like I just feel lethargic. I can't tell, like I feel hungry, but every meal is just not satisfying at this point. Like I don't even like vegetables that much, and I'm just like, I want a crisp vegetable or a piece of fruit. Like I do think a lot of this is just purely the sugar withdrawals. I just feel irritable. I feel burnt out. Yeah. It's not fun. This carnivore cult sucks. Only day 3. It's gonna be a long 2 weeks. Just had a little nap, if you couldn't tell. Crushed like almost half of that chicken. I have a little bit left, not gonna lie. I am trying to savor it a little bit because that was a whole ass chicken. And what they didn't say was how expensive this diet was gonna be. I'm already like almost $100 in and it's Wednesday. So I'm hoping this works. Actually does feel a little bit better, so that's pretty cool. Post-workout, the muscles need some protein. I can feel it. So 4 eggs, 4 pieces of bacon, and yeah, it's time to blast through some check-ins here. Day 4, carnivore baby. Actually feeling
I'm gonna say like almost want to say like annoyingly good. So we'll see how the cognitive side goes here with focus and everything, but let's get at her. I did not poop yesterday. It's day 4, and I'm like a pretty regular pooper. I was just in line at the bank, and oh my god, I have to shit so badly right now. So I have a 15-minute drive home, so I hope I can pucker up my butthole enough that I can hold on to this, because this, honestly, I'm trying to make light of it right now, how uncomfortable I am, because it feels like the scene in Bridesmaids.
It's coming out of me like lava!
I made it home. Whoa. I have a little bowl of shrimp. Shrimping ain't easy, people. That's pretty good. I just cooked it in butter. There's a bunch of butter. My skin feels less inflamed right now. Like I do feel just like less itchy, which is nice.
Day 5, carnivore diet. The poops have begun, and oh my god. If you ever played Call of Duty or any first-person shooter when you were younger, there was a style called spray and pray.
It's a bit new.
That is what my butthole is doing right now, and it is god-awful. So, not a huge fan of that. I think I'm gonna do some like burgers or something today, with obviously just meat patties. But, yeah.
I actually don't think it looks that appetizing. Got regular ground beef. None of that little bitch extra lean ground beef. Gotta get that fat in there. With like an egg chapeau. It's French for hat. On top, that's all you get is salt and pepper. And no enjoyment. Oh my god, that was so unsatisfying. I just crushed all 4 of those burger patties. I have a call in 3 minutes here and I might shit myself.
I got the poo on me!
That was not nearly as satisfying as my head believed it was going to be. This sucks. I don't know why people would want to do this. Like, I understand if you're doing it from an autoimmune standpoint, you know, elimination diet, trying to see what's going on standpoint, but to do this forever, you have probably psychological issues. Also, got some electrolytes here. It's just potassium and salt. Kind of tastes like pool water, but I have been upping this. I have been upping the amount that I've been drinking of that. That's one thing, obviously, with not intaking any carbohydrates. There's pretty much 0 potassium in my diet. So electrolyte balance is probably all out of whack right now. So I have been drinking about 2 to 3 of those pints a day to try to keep, you know, those levels up as much as I can. Because that's definitely something you got to be aware of when you are doing any sort of elimination diet or keto or anything along those lines. Is like you're not taking in a lot of things that you should. So it is important to supplement kind of where you need to. I don't know if I got the meat sweats, the diarrhea sweats, or what I got going on here, but I don't feel great.
Does number 2 work for?
Dirty, sitting down for 4 whole eggs here. I decided to track my calories today. Just out of curiosity's sake, just because I never buy regular ground beef. It also is obnoxious for how much fat is in it. So today I finished at, holy shit, 152 grams of fat. That's gross. And 128 grams of protein. So that was 1 pound or 500 grams of regular ground beef and 8 whole eggs for the day, which is just absurd. And that's truthfully, that's not counting the butter. So my total calories for the day is just under 2,000 to 1945. Probably somewhere in around like 23 to 2,500, give or take, with the amount of butter that I used for cooking that ground beef and for cooking my eggs just now. So either way, carnivore sucks.
Woo! That's diarrhea, folks. This is not ideal. This is not ideal, Luce. Yeah, I shit with the door open, whatever.
It's day 6 of the carnivore diet, and I'm just kind of existing. We got 2 whole eggs and about a pound of ground beef here today. I watched a bunch of carnivore stuff last night because I was just not feeling great. Everyone's kind of said like days 10 to 14 is like a substantial difference in terms of just energy, how you feel, how you sleep, all the above. So very much looking forward to day 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever day that substantial difference kicks in, because I did a little chest and back workout today. I missed my glycogen pumps.
8 o'clock now. I've got myself a nice bowl of meat. Sounds so appealing, I know. You're probably jealous. Hey, Lewis. You had a really big play earlier, so she kind of put herself to bed when we got home. But yeah, I'm just gonna relax and then call her a night. And day 6.
We have a bougie ass rotisserie chicken that was hella overpriced, but is literally the only thing that you can buy on this diet that doesn't have sugar, doesn't have dairy, gluten, or literally anything. So I went to Safeway because I have breath work in like an hour and a half, and I did not want to do anything after that, especially having to think about food. So I'm gonna devour this, take Lucy to the park, exhaust her, go to breath work for 2 hours. I've been going literally straight since 5 a.m. this morning. Didn't document any of it because I've been busy as hell. There's my chicken and beef.
Chicken and beef.
Throughout the first 2 weeks of documenting this on my Instagram, which you should go follow by the way, I received a lot of messages regarding this experiment. Many people were wondering about the benefits with their own skin and autoimmune issues, and others were inquiring about the benefits of weight loss, body composition changes as well. Many of you reaching out were impressed with my willpower to stick to something so extreme, which leads me to my first point of this video. I really want to emphasize the importance of your why. The strength of your why has a direct correlation to the strength of your willpower. This is something I bring up in every one of my online coaching consultations, but in all honesty, until I put myself through something this restrictive, I never quite understood just how incredibly important a strong why really was. Here's my why. Me. I am the one who has to go to bed at night dealing with irritated skin. I am the one who has to wake up to bloody bed sheets in the morning. I am the one who has to live in my skin. For me, taking personal responsibility for finding out what I could be choosing to consume that could be aggravating my autoimmune disease was a sacrifice that I was willing to make because being comfortable in my own skin is a strong fucking why. For me to sacrifice 2+ weeks of my life to give myself potential clarity on what I could be doing to mitigate and manage my psoriasis symptoms moving forward, the rest of my life was a sacrifice that I was personally willing to make. And I know this may sound dramatic with it being only 2 weeks, but as someone who is currently on day 91 of sobriety, the psychological stress that this put me through was arguably more strenuous than the first 14 days of going through THC withdrawals. And I don't say that lightly because THC withdrawals suck. From days 10 to 14 of this experiment, I was genuinely miserable, just waiting for the moment that I could eat something other than meat. We're going to create a hypothetical situation here. If your doctor told you that within 3 months, if you kept consuming sugar, that you would be dead, and if you stopped consuming sugar, you would live a long and prosperous life, I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that you would be able to stop consuming sugar if the ultimatum was life or death. Because life or death is pretty much the ultimate why for when it comes to making any sort of drastic change in your life. I'm using an extreme example because we forget that we have a finite amount of time on this planet. And I know it's very uncommon for us in North America to actually talk about death, but to be fair, it is something we are all going to deal with at some point in time in our life. For many of you who are dealing with high blood pressure, obesity, and many other health conditions, it's important to recognize that death is a reality that you may be facing a lot sooner than later if you don't start making changes towards your health and well-being. My coworker Haley often refers to this as the oh shit moment, where you come to the realization that you need to drastically change your life choices. And hopefully for you, it's not too late. Haley is a perfect example. She has lost well over 150 pounds and has completely altered the direction of her life because of her own oh shit moment that happened years ago. My hopes with this example isn't to make you feel worse about yourself, and to inspire you to start taking personal responsibility for your life. We've all been dealt the deck we've been dealt. Some of us have it worse than others, and I'm not going to disagree with that. But you can either continue to blame everything and everyone around you for your circumstances, or you can do something about it. And if doing something about it means giving up dairy, smoking, sugar, fast food, whatever it may be, do it. Day 8, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna crush these 3 eggs. I got my ground beef and my chicken. I think part of it is like finding kind of oddly what combos go well together, and this bitch chicken and beef combo, having this after breathwork last night was unreal. I didn't video it, but god damn, it's good. Had a decent workout. I feel like my strength is definitely there, but just as I get higher into the volumes after the bench and the shoulder press and things like that, like you just feel gassed. So who knows, maybe in another week or so, I'll be a little bit more acclimatized to the ketones as opposed to the glycogen that I'm used to relying on when it comes to feeling good and energizing my body. My skin is feeling a lot better. That's why we're doing this. Got first meal of the day, eggs and beef. Should be great. This would just be so much better with hot sauce. And I know depending on who you're talking to, carnivore wise, like you can add certain sauces, you can add things, but with myself personally trying to do this for my skin, I'm trying to avoid sugar. And that's one thing I've definitely learned throughout this process is that sugar is in everything. Anything that is processed to any degree. I saw people early on eating like beef jerky. You've noticed the last couple days I haven't been eating bacon because I mean, unless you get bacon directly from a butcher, it's just like straight up sliced in front of you. It's got preservatives, therefore it has sugar. So it's pretty sneaky. You pretty much have to only buy single ingredient foods and it's difficult. So that's why I've kind of been leaning into the beef and eggs and chicken. And that's about it.
I am so excited for what I'm about to put in my mouth. That's what she said.
I just air fried 4 pounds of chicken wings. I am beyond excited. So far, it's day 10 by the way. So far, hands down, I don't know if it's just like a beef overload or what, but the chicken has just tasted phenomenal. I made that roasted chicken last week. I bought that rotisserie chicken on Sunday when I was in a time pinch. And as mentioned, this is 4 pounds of wings. God damn. I am so excited to dig into these right now. Break it apart. I'm in bliss right now. Anyways, I had a really great session with my therapist today. One of the things we talked a lot about was rejection hurts. And truthfully, I think this is going to be actually a really good thing for a video like this. When I put the final pieces together, could get a lot of hate from some carnivore folks, so could be an interesting comment section on this video. I hope it is. Please like, comment, subscribe, because that does help a lot. But rejection hurts. But rejection of yourself hurts a whole lot more. External rejection hurts a lot more when internally you're rejecting yourself. If you can learn to love yourself, learn to forgive yourself, learn to accept yourself for who you are, then receiving external rejection really doesn't have as much of an impact on you. So there's my little piece of therapeutic wisdom from today. It was a good session today. It's been a good day.
Day 11, baby!
I want an apple, I want watermelon, and I want blueberries so badly. I almost craved last night. I thought I had blueberries in the fridge, and like thankfully I didn't. I felt like a drug addict that was like, give me some fucking blueberries. But there was none in the freezer, and it's like minus 300 here in Alberta, Canada. For those who live here, they can attest. And yeah, I didn't do it, so I was stoked that it wasn't here, because I would have taken the drug, aka blueberries, last night. My God, I'm miserable. Like, I've never wanted anything other than just meat so badly. I think I've done too much therapy to go on this diet and live this lifestyle. And that probably sounds like I'm putting myself real high up on a pedestal right now, but unless you're doing this for an autoimmune standpoint and you really believe in this diet to be the one and only way to eat, you got some shit going on up here that needs to be addressed. Doesn't need to be addressed. You have some shit going on up here that could be addressed. Whether you decide to do anything with that, that's up to you. But I'm gonna eat these chicken wings because I would prefer that to the eggs that I have in the fridge right now. That's all you can eat on this stupid ass elimination diet. I can assure you this, if my skin was not getting better, I would be done this. Over it. Done. Out of a sandwich right now gives me a half chub. Friday night, day 12 of 14. You guys probably think this is all the same day because I am a dirtbag and have worn the same hoodie most of the days this week because we just got them this week. But I can promise you, it's been different days every day you've seen me. Tonight, we got a big old steak dinner with some shrimp Trying to finish off this bullshit in true carnivore style. Physically, still feel like garbage. I'm not a fan of this. It's crazy just the psychological weight that having a diet that's this restrictive really puts on you. Like, this is the first time, like, I've done some pretty intense dieting. I've done a 72-hour fast. I like just kind of guinea pigging myself and just seeing what I can put myself through. Also from the experiential standpoint, like, I can talk to clients who want to do these types of diets and think that these are the way to go to lose body fat and to experience these types of things. It's one thing to learn about it from a textbook standpoint, but to actually put yourself through it is a whole different ballgame. But I am very proud of myself for actually sticking to it. 13 out of 14 went with the reverse sear tonight. Perfectly. Hopefully I can get that to focus. So, that was good. We made it, y'all. 14 days, carnivore diet, baby. Celebrating tonight with some salmon, some shrimp, and some steak. Close this bitch off in style. I cannot wait to have a bite of pineapple. There's a really important thing to note that a lot of these carnivore creators, carnies, have neglected to speak about, which is the importance of fiber. Just to be clear before I get into this, because I'm certain I'm going to get some hate in the comments today. If the carnivore diet worked for you, that's awesome. If it helped you lose weight and it helped you manage your autoimmune issues, then that's fantastic. I'm very happy for you. However, taking a stance which is completely unsupported by evidence, backed by
randomized control trials,
and not taking into consideration the long-term health effects from this type of diet is simply dangerous. One of my favorite pieces of information I came across in the last 2 weeks with doing research into fiber, the carnivore diet, and any sort of long-term and or short-term trials with this was a quote from Dr. Ids. I hope I said that right. Too many people conflate how they feel with health outcomes. You can't feel atherosclerosis or plaque building up in your arteries. You can't feel your colon replicating cancerous cells. This is why the carnivore diet is dangerous, but it's a subtle danger because people won't realize it until it's too late. Let that one sink in for a minute. There is zero long-term studies when it comes to the carnivore diet. That is what is the scariest aspect about this trend, is the fact that people are approaching this with a completely short-sighted view and not thinking of the long-term health risks associated with not consuming any fiber. There is an absolute mountain of evidence on the positive effects that fiber has when it comes to positive long-term health outcomes, such as comorbidity rates. Take this meta-analysis, for example, where for every 10 gram increase in fiber, there was a 10% decrease in comorbidity rates. That is insane. You want a longevity health hack? Eat more fiber. And yes, I'm not going to argue that there isn't people who don't respond well to certain fruits and vegetables when it comes to creating gas within their gut. But to completely neglect the long-term studies around this is just irresponsible. What's most disturbing about this is the fact that many popular doctors have now created very lucrative businesses around this. What's upsetting is the fact that even with a plethora of evidence suggesting the importance of fiber, they turn a blind eye to the studies at hand because it doesn't fit their narrative. Because if they did change their stance, this would be taking money directly out of their pocket, because it's the polar opposite of what they have developed their following around. Whenever I bring up the importance of fiber with my clients, a really common response that I get is, well, I already poop enough, so I don't need more fiber in my diet for that. You don't eat fiber to poop. You eat fiber to live longer. It's as simple as that. My last talking point for this video is going to be carnivore for weight loss. A lot of the buzz around this diet is the fact that people are seeing drastic changes in weight in short periods of time. But I would almost guarantee you that if you exercise some patience along your weight loss journey and really gave protein and calorie counting an honest chance over a longer duration of time, you would be able to achieve the exact same results without the ridiculously restrictive lifestyle to go along with it. Trying to change your life for superficial reasons, like you want to look good for a wedding, a vacation, or something trivial like that, is not worth going to the extreme of an elimination diet to do so. You are looking at your health and well-being in an incredibly short-sighted way if this is how you're going to choose to restrict calories for yourself. Think about the things you'll be giving up for this. You'll be sacrificing a lot more than you may think. I'm keeping this aspect of the video short and sweet because, in my opinion, doing the carnivore diet for weight loss and weight loss alone is a horrible idea. It is January 15th, which means that is the morning after the carnivore challenge. So I'm gonna show you some before and after here, just to give a thorough report on the difference in my psoriasis, because it was pretty substantial in just a 14-day time frame. So pretty stoked about that. So this spot that was on my shoulder that was quite bad, there's just the teeniest little bit left there, and the other half of it is pretty much just a scar. You can see these spots on my side that were quite prominent, a couple spots on my back. Same with this side here. Like any spot that's still even there, whatever you can see, is just a scar at this point. So for anyone who does have psoriasis, you'll know that if you've had a patch for a while, it ends up just becoming this basically soft sort of sore that is essentially what these have turned into. So I'm pretty stoked about that. The spot on my calf is like crazy. So that spot on my calf, I don't know if the video does it justice, but it was probably at least like this big, and it was a sore. Like it was a bad sore that it has tons of plaque on it, and it's just basically a scar at this point now, which is in 14 days phenomenal. For someone who's had psoriasis for over 20 plus years and has tried every approach you can possibly go about this, in a 14-day time frame to have these types of results is pretty incredible. I'm down 9 pounds. That's pretty irrelevant in my opinion, because this is not something that you should be doing to lose weight. From a body composition standpoint, I did shave my chest, so that does change the outcomes a little bit, but I am feeling pretty good with where the physique is at. I feel like there's definitely some muscles popping through after the last kind of 2.5 months of pretty hard training. So overall, pretty stoked about that, but even more stoked to have some pineapple and some vegetables today. Now, I do want to talk about the results because my skin feels great. I am currently on day 6 of the reintroduction aspect of bringing in a few fruits and vegetables for the week that I've been documenting on my Instagram. And if you're going to try this on your own, whatever window of time you allot for your own experimentation with this type of elimination diet, it's important to recognize that the idea of elimination diet is to subtract before we add. You've just put yourself through a very extreme and rigorous diet to come to the conclusion of what could be potentially aggravating your autoimmune symptoms. So it's really important that you don't just go off the wagon and start eating everything again. This week I've reintroduced carrots, broccoli, pineapple, watermelon, and blueberries because I want to start testing the tolerance and seeing what my body is capable of withstanding before my skin gets irritated again. Skin's still feeling great on day 6 as mentioned, so next week I'm going to reintroduce gluten. I'm going to actually start by measuring the amounts at first, test, see how my skin is. Later in the week, bringing in more. If my skin still feels really good, then at the end of the next week, then I'm going to reintroduce dairy and see if that is the main culprit driving the inflammation for my autoimmune. This process, again, you need to be patient with because of the fact that if you just try and jump right back into everything, you are pretty much just going to have wasted your time in doing this restrictive of an elimination diet. So please be aware that this is not just a 2 or 4 week experiment. It's probably going to be something closer to 4, 6, or even 8 weeks, depending on the severity of your autoimmune, depending on how long you've had it, depending on how bad the symptoms are, and a variety of other factors that are in play here. But I really want you to know that it's not just some 2 week, lose as much weight as possible, feel as good as you can in your skin, and then go reintroduce a bunch of shitty food and have your autoimmune back, worse than ever because of the fact that you weren't patient along the way. Okay, folks, that is it for my crazy carnivore video. Please, if you enjoyed today's video, found any sort of value whatsoever, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like button helps a ton. Comments help even more. So if you could, even if you want to just tell me you hate my face, feel free to do so, but just do it in the comment section below. Catch you in the next one.